next slide, and wanted you to know what's happening in our schools. Oh, you should be able to just hit the arrow button, yep. So let's just go back before we talk about Black History Month. Let's talk about the purpose of education. And some really smart guy named Mortimer Adler put together a good definition that is fairly popular, and it's based on several different definitions. And if you'll see there in yellow at the bottom, it says occupational preparation. Then it talks about personal growth and self-improvement. And the top one is development of citizenship. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no question that how we celebrate Black History Month helps us and our students to become better citizens. Next slide. There we go. One of the things that we concentrate on is the civil rights movement within our lessons, and this is pre-K through 12. You'll see here that that was a time in our history that helped change us, I believe, for the better. And as a result, we made sure to teach our students about some of the historical figures, including Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, next slide, Booker T. Washington, and Jackie Robinson. I name these because they are the ones that I often see no matter where I go, whatever elementary, middle, or high school. These are the lessons that I see, and it's really fabulous stuff. Next slide. You'll see in Pottstown High School, students are teaching each other, which is, if you know anything about the pyramid of learning, when you listen to something, you retain approximately 5% as a young person. But when you teach someone else, you retain approximately 90% of everything that you learn. That's why teachers are so smart. They're always presenting stuff. Here's some other activities within Pottstown High School. As you can see, students are really getting into it, and whether it's artwork that ends up on the hallway walls, or it's just learning about a historical figure. And some of the historical figures I had never heard of, but they did, and they saw how African Americans were making wonderful contributions to the American society. Next slide. At the middle school, not only did the middle school do Black history, but they also weaved in social emotional learning. In fact, this week was Kindness Week, and they had essentially a Spirit Kindness Week, and they got to dress up in different ways, but they also looked at quotes from famous African Americans in history that demonstrated kindness. I was able to videotape something today that will go out for announcements for all middle schoolers, and they've just done a wonderful job of presenting African American historical figures in the classroom. And as you can see, it's proudly displayed in many places throughout the school. Next slide. In the elementary schools, you might think that some of this would go over their head, but it absolutely doesn't. They learn about the different figures in history, and then have hands-on projects that help them. And here's another example at Rupert Elementary, and if you can see there, in the picture to your right, Rosa Parks is very clearly illustrated along with some other people that I can't see. And I don't think there's any more slides. Lincoln and Franklin missed the deadline, but I can assure you that they are doing some great things, and I wanted to make sure that this board understands, what is our mission? Our mission is to educate students, and this month we've done a great job of celebrating Black history. Thank you.